Let me begin by thanking the news media for being here and all of you for being here today. We're standing across the street from the Department of Juvenile Justice and right down the street there from the administrative offices of the Department of Corrections, where we have over 24,000 inmates locked away behind barbed wires. Most of them are high school dropouts and read only at the elementary level, if at all. Those inside cannot provide for their families on the outside, and they make no contribution to the economic development of this state. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to make an indictment of our correction system. They do a fine job. The individuals behind the fence are there, and the fences like it all around the state, and are there because they committed crimes of one type or another. I am here, however, to talk about how we prevent other young people from having to waste their lives away in places like that. My name is Tom Thompson, and I'm here today to ask the wonderful people of this state to make me their next superintendent of education and to join with me in shutting down that facility and others like it because they represent the failure of our educational system and the value that we place on human capital. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for change. We rushed to build multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art prison complexes that cost about $300 million, while we allow our children to attend schools where we would not dare house criminals. In fact, we would characterize them as inhumane, and we do it year after year after year. Something is wrong with that picture. In addition, we're happy to spend $14,000 per year to keep an inmate locked up, while we complain about taxes that provide only enough money. At its height, it was $2,500. Because of the economic conditions, now it's about $1,800. We complained about the taxes needed to provide enough money for a minimally adequate education for our children. Minimally adequate education. Something is wrong also, folks, with that picture. It's time for change. It's time that we change the state constitution to guarantee every child in the state a high-quality education. It's time that we promise that all students will graduate from high school prepared for success in the workforce. It's time that we ensure that each and every child in the state is taught by a highly qualified, highly effective teacher whose pay is at the very least competitive to that in our neighboring states. Most importantly, folks, it's time that we bring back the pride, the trust, and the excitement for public education that we once had before we came under attack by choice proponents who want to use public dollars to pay for private education, before high-stakes testing began to exhaust our children and eat away at their self-confidence, before gangs and bullying came into prominence in our schools, and before the economic downturn eroded our already skimpy resources. To accomplish this, we need a superintendent of education who will be a drum major for public education. A superintendent who has had rich experiences throughout the educational system, from classroom to boardroom. A superintendent who is passionate about education and who truly understands the challenges that we South Carolinians face, and who is prepared to work with other elected officials, educators, parents, and students in a true sense of cooperation and collaboration to create the change that we all seek. A superintendent who truly understands the price we as citizens pay when students are not successful in our schools, and who understands the magnitude of the economic impact of undereducating children. Ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to enter the race for superintendent of education because I'm the type of leader who can bring the changes needed to elevate our public education system to world-class status. I am a career educator. I began my professional career as a high school math teacher in Chicago and came here to South Carolina in 1982 as the first African-American principal of Winsboro High School in Fairfield County. I also served at the State Department of Education as the coordinator of training programs in the Administrators Leadership Academy, where I led professional development programs for principals, superintendents, and other school administrators before joining the faculty in the Department of Educational Leadership at the University of South Carolina, and then moving on as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies at South Carolina State University. I presently serve as the chair of the Department of Educational Leadership at South Carolina State. In each and every position that I've held, I made it my mission, folks, to enrich the lives of young people and the adults that I served. I began considering entering the race for Superintendent of Education back in October. I talked with people across the state. In many of the conversations, I was asked the same question: what will I do differently as the superintendent? At first, the question surprised me and caught me off guard. Before long, however, I realized that what these people were saying is that they want change in the public school system in this state, but they want it to be real change and not just empty promises. As a result, ladies and gentlemen, I went and fashioned my platform around providing a quality education for every child, which we desperately need, ensuring that all students will graduate prepared for success in the workforce, which we desperately need, hiring quality teachers and providing them an adequate salary, and providing adequate funding to guarantee a high quality education for all children. All things that we desperately need in this state. But it didn't take me long to realize that all of the other candidates were making the same promise. So I asked myself, what makes me so different? I wasn't the only one who asked that question. What makes me different than all of the other candidates? What makes me the best candidate for the job? The difference, ladies and gentlemen, is that I know the system inside and out, at all levels, pre-K through 16, even pre-K through 20. And I know the people in the system, those who serve as teachers, principals, superintendents, and I know the needs and the concerns that they have. I can connect with parents and the business and industry, both of which are key components to revitalizing the public education system in this state. That, above all other qualifications, ladies and gentlemen, make me more able to build the types of coalitions needed to bring about the significant change that we need in this system. We are all aware that many of the issues that confront our schools exist far before some of the students ever arrive on the doorsteps of a school. To address these issues, we must all take responsibility and work together. As your superintendent, my goal will be to make schools places where we as educational communities embrace our interdependence and work across district lines to achieve objectives much broader than just getting good results on the end of the year testing or making AYP. For example, folks, my vision is that every school in this state will be actively involved in striving to become a Pell Medal Gold School and to be a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. But no school will have to do this alone. Only by working together will we be able to make a real difference in all of our schools. We have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. Either pay the cost up front by building a first-class public school system, or pay more in the end by building more prisons. If we do our jobs as citizens of this state the way we should, and we successfully provide students a high-quality education, all students are more likely to have a sense of accomplishment, which translates to jobs, productive citizenry, and a higher quality of life, all reducing the need for so many prison facilities around our state. Together, we can get it done. I invite you to join me in this fight. Join Team Tom, and let's move South Carolina forward. Today, together, we can make all South Carolinians proud of the public school system and bring the excitement back to public education. Please remember to vote Tom Thompson in the primary, June 8th, and again in November. If you will do that for me, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that South Carolina will be #1 in the race to the top in this great nation of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out on this wonderful day, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you might have.